Don't let this gorilla get the drop on you. After this video, you will know exactly how to counter Beatrix's dive kick. Beatrix's dive kick, aka Thunderbird or back special, is used to skip the neutral and go over your strikes, throws and fireballs, kind of like a jumping. Not to mention that she can go under your attacks with the slide that we talked about in a previous video. Up close, she can use it as a throw bait that leads into plus and block pressure or a combo. At a distance, it can cheese your low hitting attacks that were meant to counter the slide. You just have to get a read and play around what this Beatrix player in particular likes to do. But the dive kick is way more manageable, since it's reactable at the right spacing. And you don't have to stop blocking low, because this move isn't an overhead. Look out for Beatrix jumping into the air with her knee raised, then crashing down with a kick to react to its startup. The knee strike on the way up is just too fast to be reactable, but once you're around one Colosseum tile away, it's out of range on all versions, so you don't have to worry about it at that distance. And the medium version doesn't have a knee strike attached to it anyway, for the kick on the way down on the other hand. The light version reaches almost 2 Colosseum tiles away, while the medium version goes up to 1.5 tiles. Heavy on the other hand will connect at a little under 2.5 tiles, and ultimate extends its reach up to almost 3 tiles. It's far reaching, but once you're out of the knees range, all versions are reactable. The kick on the light version starts up in 28 frames, on medium it's 30, for heavy it's 31, and on the ultimate version it can vary from 23 to 30 based on range. And this isn't counting the slowdown on ultimate specials. What you can do is crouch, and this will make it hit like a frame or two later sometimes. As usual, the easiest options are your usual suspects for clutch reactions, like invincible moves, parries and armor. If you want more damage / a meterless option, you should go for a spot dodge. If you're packing something like a frame 20 reaction, you can get some pretty good results. Against light Thunderbird, you'll be +2, and probably right beside her, letting you threaten a throw or a plus and block mix up. Light won't let you punish, but hear this. Dodging the medium would put you at +9. Just in time to use a heavy as a combo starter. Heavy Thunderbird gives you a little less at +8. A close heavy on some characters, and a medium on others. But spot dodging the ultimate version isn't a good idea, because it will probably hit you out of it with the blast zone at the end. And you shouldn't cross over against any version, because there's a chance that you might get hit out of it. Another option is a strike, but this is finicky, harder to time properly, and subject to clashing or crushing. On the light and medium back special, the kick actually clashes with mediums, so it has the strength of a medium, while the knee strike of the light and heavy versions clash with crouching lights. But heavy's kick will actually clash with your heavy, and all hits of the ultimate version crush heavies. Most crouching heavies will swat the medium version out of the air on a good reaction. But I wouldn't recommend trying to do this against the light version because it has a faster startup. Your character might have a faster, more powerful move that hits high enough to beat these dive kicks, like Charlotta's far heavy or the forward special on Soris. To me, normal seemed to be a bit too risky to use against the heavy and ultimate dive kicks though. The recovery when she lands ranges from about 18 to 21 on the light, medium and heavy versions. So you have enough time to punish with your best starter. But the ultimate back special has an impact zone at its recovery, leaving only 3 frames where you can't get hit, making it very hard to time a whiff punish with a normal. And for some reason, the blast zone destroys projectiles as well. So your heavy fireball or ultimate fireball will probably not work. I can only think of whiff punishing with a projectile super, or relying on hitting her with a projectile before she lands. If I think of anything else, I'll put it in a pinned comment. And feel free to comment on any of your Beatrix counterplay ideas. On block, light can range from -4 up to +0 at its max range when she's basically stepping on your shoes. And this is the only one that can be minus, so make sure to take advantage of it. On the flip side, the other versions are all +4 on block, so you should respect them. Or you can disrespect them sometimes. It's your choice. On block, heavy back special has a small gap between the knee and the kick that you can exploit with frame 1 invincibility, armor, or a parry. But don't dodge, because Beatrix could be +1 and in striking distance. And when you end up blocking it, you can get a guaranteed brave counter punish on all of the plus and block versions. But against heavy Thunderbird, you can't just mash brave counter right away after blocking the knee, since it has a chance of missing if you don't delay it, and I wouldn't recommend trying to do this because it's hard to time. So you're better off doing it against the second hit. I have some good news for you. The chip damage situation will actually get better when the Beatrix nerfs hit, because they will be nerfing Thunderbird damage. And speaking of nerfs, I will cover exactly how these changes could affect the Beatrix matchup and show you how to exploit some of her new weaknesses in a future video. So subscribe to see that and more in-depth fighting game guides as soon as they drop. You need to look closely to see the differences between the minus unblock light version and the plus unblock medium version. Medium is the only one that doesn't have a knee strike, so it has no effects around the knee as it rises. Light Thunderbird doesn't have a fire or impact effect when you block it. The only version without that effect actually. Also, the dust is smaller and appears behind her on the light version, while it's a huge cloud on the medium. Light has a lower jump arc than the medium version, so it's easier to randomly hit as well. The knee hit can be used to set up true block strings, but Light Thunderbird will leave a small frame trapping gap when cancelled into from her lights. And at certain distances, her mediums and sweep will do this as well. So you could risk it and mash something like invincibility or a dodge and then punish if you think that they will cancel into it. The heavy and old version don't really leave a gap, but I can see where a Beatrix player fails and does a fire normal, cancels it, but is actually too far and the knee whiffs. When this happens, you'll be able to capitalize on their mistake. Here's the situation on knockdown. After getting hit by both parts of Light Thunderbird, you will actually automatically recover, and Beatrix will be +24, close enough to whiff crouching light and then do a meaty dash L. But if you only get hit by the second hit, she will be left around +1 to +5 and within striking distance. Medium and heavy on the other hand will put you into a soft knockdown, but she's actually +39 against your fastest recovery, leading to a safe jump if she's in range. So what you can do against this is recover backwards to get out of range of this, or don't recover at all to prevent it. Not to mention that Beatrix can land a proper safe jump anywhere on the screen after hitting the ultimate version and then whiffing a standing light. You can play around a 7-second cooldown on the heavy version, while it's around a 3-second cooldown on the ultimate version. This guide was brought to you by my first patron, Muskefal CH. I created a Patreon starting off with a $1 membership and shoutouts for my members. Jamaican channels are not allowed to do super chat or YouTube memberships as yet, so Patreon is the way. Anyways, big up for the support. Office Flirt.